Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and talked about modern coins in circulation, the 1981 P. Washington quarter dollar. Lately, stories have been circulating online claiming that one of these quarters sold for a shocking $1.6 million. That's right, a coin most of us wouldn't think twice about could be worth a life-changing amount of money. But is it true? What makes some 1981 P quarters worth a fortune while others are only worth 25 cents? Let's dig deep into the history, the details, and the truth behind this incredible coin. Let's start with where it all began. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It was designed by sculptor John Flanagan, featuring a profile of Washington on the front and an eagle with outstretched wings on the back. The design became so iconic that it remained virtually unchanged for more than 60 years, right up until the state quarters program began in 1999. Now, let's move to the year 1981. That year, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of quarters marked with a small P mint mark just above Washington's ponytail. These coins were struck in large numbers for everyday circulation, and at first glance, they seem very ordinary. But coin collectors know that even among billions of coins, rare varieties and minting errors can transform an everyday coin into something worth thousands. And in some stories, millions done so. How did the rumor of a $1.6 million 1981 P quarter start? The claim most likely comes from stories about rare mint errors and extremely high-grade examples that fetched big money at auction. While there is no verified record of any 1981 P quarter officially selling for $1.6 million, some rare specimens with minting mistakes or perfect conditions have sold for impressive amounts. And that's what fuels the fascination with this coin. First, let's talk about condition, the number one factor in determining a coin's value. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, where 70 represents a perfect, flawless coin. Most quarters you find in circulation today show signs of wear, scratches, dull surfaces, and worn edges. But coins that were never used, kept in original mint sets, or discovered in pristine condition can be graded as mint state, often between MS 65 and MS 68. The higher the grade, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. That a 1981 P. Washington quarter graded mint state 67 or higher can easily bring in several $100s at auction, and if it's in truly flawless condition, the price can climb even higher. The Philadelphia Mint had some striking issues during this time, so finding a coin with strong details and clean surfaces is far more difficult than it sounds. Next, let's talk about errors and varieties, which are where the biggest surprises often come from. Minting errors are mistakes that happen during production, and they can make certain coins unique. Some of the most valuable 1981 P quarters feature off-center strikes, double die obverse, or coin struck on the wrong metal planchet. An off-center strike occurs when the coin blank isn't perfectly centered during minting, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. The more off-center it is, while still showing the date and mint mark, the higher its value. Some of these have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Then there's the double die error. This happens when the design is impressed twice onto the die slightly out of alignment, creating a doubled effect on letters, numbers, or parts of Washington's portrait. If you see doubling on the date, the word Liberty, or In God We Trust, you could be looking at a valuable error coin. Collectors pay top dollar for strong examples of doubling. Another major error to look for is the wrong planchet strike. Occasionally, a quarter was mistakenly struck on a blank mint for a different denomination, like a nickel or a dime. Because these errors are so rare and often unique, they can sell for thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, depending on the exact circumstances. There are also smaller errors like die cracks, die chips, and clipped planchets, all of which add collectible value. The key is finding one that's visually striking and well documented. Now, back to that million-dollar rumor. While the 1981 P quarter itself has not officially sold for $1.6 million, the story serves as a powerful reminder that rare coins can hold incredible value. It's possible that a unique prototype, pattern coin, or dramatic mint error could one day fetch such a price. And that's what keeps collectors hunting through change. It's also important to remember that 1981 was a significant year for U.S. coinage. The mint was preparing for major changes in the coming decades, including the introduction of new commemorative coins and eventually the state quarters series. Because of that, coins from the early 1980s represent the last of the traditional Washington quarters before design changes began sweeping through American currency. That historical connection adds another layer of collectability. If you have a 1981 P quarter at home, here's what you should do. Take it out under good lighting and look closely at the details. Check Washington's face and the lettering for doubling or unusual features. Examine the rim and the edges for signs of misalignment or off-center striking. If the coin has a sharp, mirror-like finish and no visible scratches, it could be worth having it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can make a huge difference in its value, especially for coins in higher mint state conditions. Whatever you do, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can damage the surface and instantly reduce its value. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges and keep it in a protective holder or flip. Even though most 1981 P quarters are worth only their face value, there are always exceptions. A rare minting error, a perfect condition coin, or a unique variety could easily be worth hundreds, maybe even thousands. And while the $1.6 million story may be more legend than fact, it's a powerful reminder that incredible treasures can still be found hiding in plain sight. The next time you get change back from a store or sort through an old coin jar, pay attention. You might just uncover a rare piece of American history worth far more than you expect. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1981 P. Washington quarter and want to learn more about rare coins, hidden minting errors, and valuable finds that could be sitting in your pocket right now, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Leave a comment below and let me know what rare coins you've discovered. Maybe you already have one of these special 1981 quarters in your collection. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and remember, sometimes the smallest coins hold the biggest secrets. Would you like me to craft your next script? Maybe for the 1982 D. Washington quarter. In a viral YouTube storytelling style with a suspenseful 15-second opening hook designed to boost watch time? Have you ever stopped to think that the change in your pocket could make you a millionaire? Most people never even glance at their quarters. But what if I told you that one special 1983 P. Washington quarter has been reported to be worth as much as $1.3 million? It sounds unbelievable, but the story behind this coin is one of the most fascinating in American numismatic history. Let's go back in time to understand why this particular quarter is so special. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the coin features the familiar portrait of Washington on the obverse and the American bald eagle on the reverse. It became one of the most recognized and widely circulated coins in the United States. Now fast forward to 1983. This year was unique in U.S. mint history. The government did not issue any official mint sets for collectors that year, which meant that the only way to get a 1983 coin was through everyday circulation. Every single quarter minted in 1983 was sent straight into public use. That means most of them were spent, scratched, dropped, and handled countless times. Finding one today in perfect condition is incredibly rare. The 1983 P. Washington quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which used a letter P as its mint mark. Over 673 million of these coins were produced, so at first glance, it might seem like there's nothing rare about them. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Because there were no mint sets, very few uncirculated coins survived. Most 1983 P quarters show signs of heavy wear. Only a handful remain in pristine mint condition, and those few have become extremely valuable among collectors. One of the biggest reasons these coins attract attention is their combination of rarity, historical context, and striking quality. Some examples have been found with strong strikes, sharp details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, and mirror-like surfaces. A few coins even have minting errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. These errors can transform an ordinary quarter into a treasure worth thousands of dollars. In recent years, collectors have paid astonishing amounts for the finest examples of the 1983 P. Washington quarter. Coins graded by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC in mint state 67 or higher have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. And then there's the mysterious story that grabbed headlines in the coin world. A rumored prototype or test strike of a 1983 P quarter that supposedly sold privately for around $1.3 million. While the details remain debated, it has inspired collectors everywhere to start searching their change, hoping to uncover the next million-dollar quarter. But to understand the excitement, it helps to remember that a coin's value is based on condition, rarity, demand, and sometimes even the story behind it. The 1983 P quarter checks all those boxes. It comes from a year without mint sets, it's hard to find in high grades, and it carries the legacy of one of America's most iconic coin designs. For collectors, owning a pristine example is like holding a small piece of U.S. mint history that shouldn't even exist in such perfect form. So how do you know if your 1983 P quarter could be worth serious money? Start by looking closely at the mint mark. You'll find a small letter P on the front of the coin, right next to Washington's ponytail. Then examine the surface. Is it bright, sharp, and free from scratches or wear? If so, you might have an uncirculated or near uncirculated coin. These are the ones that can bring high values. And if you spot anything unusual, like doubled lettering, missing details, or a slightly off-center design, you may have a rare mint error. If you believe you found something special, don't clean it and don't polish it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its collector value. Instead, store it safely in a protective holder and have it evaluated by a professional grading company. A certified grade from PCGS or NGC can confirm its authenticity and dramatically increase its potential sale price. The story of the 1983 P. Washington quarter is a reminder that history and fortune sometimes hide in plain sight. A simple coin from your pocket change could carry an incredible story, from the hustle of the 1980s minting operations to the thrill of today's collectors who still dream of discovering the one coin worth over $1 million. Next time you get a handful of quarters, don't just spend them without a second look. Check the date. Check the mint mark. Because the next 1983 P you find could turn out to be a piece of American history worth far more than its face value. Maybe even $1.3 million. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with anyone who loves treasure hunting or collecting rare coins. You never know who might be holding a fortune right now without realizing it. Keep searching your change, keep exploring, and maybe the next great discovery will be yours. Would you like me to make a shorter version of this script, under 2 minutes, for YouTube Shorts or TikTok-style videos too? Imagine finding an old quarter in your pocket or change jar, one that looks a little different from the others. You flip it over and see 2 dates instead of one, 1776 and 1976, along with a special design on the back showing a drummer boy. Most people spend these coins without a second thought, but what if that very coin could be worth as much as $1.8 million? That's the incredible story of the 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter, a coin that celebrates America's 200th birthday and has become one of the most famous pieces in U.S. coin history. Let's go back to the beginning. In 1976, the United States celebrated its bicentennial, the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. To mark this historic occasion, the U.S. Mint decided to do something special. It redesigned the quarter, the half dollar, and the dollar coin to feature patriotic themes for 1 year only. For the quarter, the Mint held a national competition, and the winning design came from Jack L. H.R. His design showed a Revolutionary War drummer boy on the reverse side, with a torch of victory surrounded by 13 stars to represent the original colonies. On the front, the familiar portrait of George Washington remained, but instead of a single date, it carried the dual date 1776 to 1976, symbolizing 2 centuries of American independence. These coins were released into circulation beginning in 1975 and continued through 1976. Most of these bicentennial quarters were made of copper-nickel clad, the same metal composition as regular quarters, and hundreds of millions were produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But there was also a special limited edition version made for collectors, a 40% silver variety, minted in San Francisco and included in special proof and uncirculated sets. So with so many of these coins around, why are some of them worth a fortune? The answer lies in the details, the condition, the composition, and the mistakes. First, let's talk about condition. Most bicentennial quarters you find in change are worn, circulated coins worth only face value. But if you find one in pristine mint condition, especially a silver one, it can be worth far more. High-grade examples certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Coins graded at mint state 68 or higher are especially rare. Then there are the errors and special varieties. Some 1776 to 1976 quarters were struck on the wrong metal planchet. For example, on a 40% silver blank when they were supposed to be copper nickel, or even on a foreign coin blank. Others have double die errors, off-center strikes, or missing design details. These minting errors make the coins one-of-a-kind and highly sought after by collectors. Now let's talk about the most valuable of all, the rare 1776 to 1976 quarter that made headlines for being worth an estimated $1.8 million. According to reports and collector discussions, this unique coin was believed to be a special test strike or prototype piece created at the mint during the bicentennial coin design phase. It was struck in 90% silver instead of the standard 40% or copper nickel, and it displayed an extraordinary level of detail and mirror-like surfaces similar to a proof coin. When discovered and authenticated, it shocked the coin world with its uniqueness and rarity. Because only one is believed to exist, collectors have valued it at over $1 million, with some experts estimating its worth at around $1.8 million. Stories like this remind us that even common-looking coins can hold incredible value if they have the right combination of rarity, history, and condition. And with the 1776 to 1976 quarter, the connection to America's bicentennial gives it an emotional and historical appeal that makes it even more special. So how can you tell if your bicentennial quarter might be valuable? Start by checking the edge of the coin. If you see a copper-colored edge, it's the standard copper-nickel version. If the edge looks silver all the way through, it might be one of the special 40% silver coins from the San Francisco Mint. Next, look for the mint mark. A small letter S means it was made in San Francisco, D means Denver, and no mint mark means Philadelphia. Also, inspect the surfaces carefully. Coins that look perfect, shiny, and untouched are worth more than those that are worn. And if you notice any unusual features like doubling in the lettering, missing details, or an off-center design, that could indicate a valuable mint error. If you think you found a special one, never clean it and don't handle it too much. Cleaning can ruin a coin's surface and destroy its value instantly. Instead, put it in a protective holder and have it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can confirm whether it's a rare silver strike, a valuable error, or even something truly one-of-a-kind. The 1776 to 1976 bicentennial Washington quarter is more than just a piece of change. It's a piece of American history. It represents freedom, independence, and the pride of a nation celebrating 2 centuries of progress. And for collectors, it's a symbol of how a simple coin can hold a story worth far more than its face value. So next time you're going through your change or looking through an old collection, take a close look at any bicentennial quarters you find. You might be holding a rare treasure, maybe even one worth over $1.8 million. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends who love history and treasure hunting. You never know who might be holding a small piece of America's bicentennial worth a life-changing amount of money. Keep checking your change, and as always, happy collecting. Would you like me to create a YouTube short version of this same topic under 60 seconds, with a catchy intro hook for quick engagement? Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand that looks just like any other coin. Nothing fancy, just a regular piece of change. But what if that same quarter could be worth as much as $1.4 million? Sounds impossible, right? Well, that's exactly the story surrounding the mysterious and highly valuable 1996 Washington quarter. This is one of the most talked about modern coins in recent years, and today we're uncovering its history, the reasons behind its surprising value, and how you might find one hiding in your own pocket change. Let's start with a little history. The Washington Quarter Series began in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse side features the bust of Washington, and the reverse shows the American bald eagle, a powerful symbol of freedom. This design was used for decades until the state quarters program started in 1999, but now, let's fast forward to the year 1996. This year's quarter marks the 64th year of the Washington Quarter Series and was minted at several locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1996 P quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which used a small letter P on the front of the coin, right beside Washington's ponytail. Over 925 million quarters were produced that year, which means they're still pretty common in circulation. So, how could one be worth $1.4 million? Here's where the story gets fascinating. While most 1996 P quarters are worth only face value, a few have drawn massive attention for their exceptional quality, rare errors, and even mysterious minting anomalies. There are reports of a few test strikes or prototype pieces made with mirror-like surfaces and unusually sharp details, similar to proof coins. These were never intended for circulation, and if one slipped out of the mint accidentally, it would be considered one of the rarest modern coins ever discovered. Over the years, collectors have also found a handful of 1996 P quarters with striking errors. Some were double dies, where the lettering or date appears doubled under magnification. Others were off-center strikes, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong type of metal planchet, like one meant for a foreign coin or even a dime. These rare mistakes make each coin unique and extremely valuable to collectors. In fact, verified mint errors on 1996 P quarters have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition and rarity. But the real buzz began when rumors spread through the coin community about an extremely rare 1996 P Washington quarter prototype that was allegedly sold privately for around $1.4 million. While the details are closely guarded, many believe it may have been a presentation strike, a special test coin made under unique conditions at the Philadelphia Mint. Whether fact or legend, that story has inspired collectors everywhere to check their 1996 quarters closely, hoping to find the next million-dollar discovery. To understand why the 1996 P quarter holds such appeal, let's talk about the market. Coin collecting isn't just about old pieces of metal. It's about history, rarity, and condition. Coins that survive in pristine mint state condition are incredibly hard to find, especially after decades of circulation. A 1996 P quarter that's been perfectly preserved with sharp details, bright luster, and nowhere can command huge premiums at auction. Grading services like PCGS or NGC have certified examples at Mint State 68, which have sold for several $1,000s. If one were ever discovered in an even higher grade or with a unique mint error, it could easily reach 6 or 7 figures in value. So what should you look for? Start by checking the mint mark, the small letter P on the front of the coin near Washington's ponytail. Then look at the surface. A valuable 1996 P quarter will have clear, crisp details in Washington's hair, strong definition in the eagle's feathers, and minimal scratches or wear. If the coin looks different from ordinary quarters, maybe it has an unusual shine, a missing detail, or even a slight doubling in the lettering, it's definitely worth a closer look. If you think you found something special, never clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy its collector value instantly. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges and place it in a protective holder. The next step is to have it graded and authenticated by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify its authenticity, determine the grade, and if it's a true rarity, they'll document it, turning your pocket change into a certified treasure. The story of the 1996 P Washington quarter is a perfect reminder that valuable coins don't always have to be ancient or gold. Sometimes, they're right there in your wallet or spare change jar, waiting to be discovered. A small piece of modern history that might just make someone a millionaire. So the next time you're about to drop your spare change into a vending machine or coin jar, take a second look. That 1996 P Washington quarter might not just be worth 25 cents. It could be worth a fortune. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends and family. You never know who might have a rare coin sitting in their pocket right now. Keep collecting, keep searching, and remember, sometimes the smallest discoveries hold the biggest surprises. Would you like me to create a short version of this same script, under 2 minutes, for a YouTube short or TikTok format next? Imagine finding an ordinary-looking quarter in your pocket and realizing it could be worth more than a brand-new luxury car, even more than a house. That's the incredible story of the 1992 D. Washington quarter, a coin that has shocked collectors around the world with its surprising value. While most of these coins are worth just 25 cents, a few rare examples have sold for astonishing prices, with one rumored specimen valued at $1.5 million. Today, we'll explore the history, the mystery, and the details behind this incredible coin and show you what to look for in your own change. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter has been a part of American coinage since 1932, created to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse side features the bust of Washington, and the reverse displays a bold bald eagle perched with outstretched wings. This design became one of the longest-running in U.S. mint history, remaining on our quarters for over 60 years before the state quarters program began in 1999. Now fast forward to 1992. This was a transition period for the U.S. Mint. Technology was improving, die engraving was more precise, and collectors were starting to pay closer attention to modern coins. The Denver Mint, marked by the small letter D on the front of the coin next to Washington's ponytail, produced hundreds of millions of 1992 D quarters. At first glance, it seems like there's nothing rare about them. But that's where the story gets interesting. While most 1992 D. Washington quarters are common, a few were struck under special circumstances that make them extraordinary. Some coins were produced using proof dies or polished planchets. Planchets are the blank metal discs that become coins, which gave them an unusually sharp, mirror-like surface. Others were struck on the wrong type of planchet altogether, such as silver planchets meant for commemorative coins or even foreign coin blanks. These rare minting errors can make a single coin worth thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then there's the famous case that captured collectors' imaginations, a reported 1992 D. Washington quarter prototype that sold privately for around $1.5 million. The story goes that this coin was an experimental piece created to test die alignment and striking pressure for the upcoming state quarters redesigns. It featured exceptionally sharp detail, flawless luster, and possibly even a slightly different composition. Because it was never meant to be released to the public, its discovery made headlines among serious coin collectors. To this day, that legendary 1992 D quarter remains one of the most valuable modern coins ever rumored to exist. What makes certain 1992 D quarters so valuable? The answer comes down to a few key factors: rarity, condition, and errors. Let's break it down. First, rarity. Although millions were made, very few high-grade examples have survived in perfect mint state. Coins that have never been circulated, with their original shine and sharp details intact, are incredibly hard to find. Second, condition. Collectors rely on professional grading services like PCGS or NGC to evaluate coins. A coin graded at mint state 68 or higher can command thousands of dollars at auction. A single grade higher can mean the difference between a few $100s and tens of thousands. And third, mint errors. Coins struck with double dies, off-center designs, missing details, or wrong planchets are extremely collectible. For example, if you ever find a 1992 D quarter that appears to be struck on silver instead of the regular copper-nickel alloy, don't spend it. It could be worth a fortune. Now let's talk about how to identify if your 1992 D quarter could be valuable. Start by checking for the mint mark, the small letter D to the right of Washington's ponytail. Then, inspect the coin closely under good lighting. Look for doubling in the date or lettering, off-center designs, or a missing edge reading. Also, pay attention to the luster and overall condition. If your coin has a bright, mirror-like surface with no scratches or wear, it might be worth submitting for grading, but if you suspect you have something special, handle it carefully. Don't clean or polish it, as that can destroy its collector value instantly. Store it in a protective holder and take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a grading service for authentication. The 1992 D. Washington quarter is a perfect example of how modern coins can still hold incredible secrets. It's not ancient, it's not gold, but under the right circumstances, it can be worth more than most people imagine. For collectors, it's a reminder that every coin tells a story, one of history, craftsmanship, and sometimes pure luck. So the next time you get a handful of quarters in your change, take a close look at the dates. That 1992 D quarter sitting unnoticed in your wallet or coin jar could be a hidden treasure, maybe even one worth $1.5 million. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed learning about this fascinating piece of American history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends and family. Who knows? One of you might be holding a coin that could change your life forever. Keep checking your change, keep collecting, and remember, every coin has a story waiting to be discovered. Would you like me to make a shorter version of this same script for a 1-minute YouTube short or TikTok-style video next?